What is your American dream?
I think the beauty of America is freedom and having the freedom to pursue. And I think everybody's definition of happiness and success is completely different. And that's what makes this country so cool. And my parents may have not necessarily thought that, oh, we want our daughter to become a TV reporter and a military officer. But guess what? They brought me to this great country that I could do those things and I could get an education and I could dream big and go after the things I want. So I just hope that I still have the luxury of the freedom to pursue whatever might make me happy moving forward in the future.
Everyone has a right to the American dream. Welcome, everybody. It is Tuesday,
April 26th.
It is April 26th.
We're in Taurus season now, right?
Somebody trying to play a trick on me.
Why? Oh.
Somebody is playing a trick on me.
Jilly's like, please don't.
I was about...
Right.
For a second, I said, what day is it today?
Tuesday.
Terrific Tuesday. A tremendous Tuesday. What else? Another positive.
Did you just say tremendous?
A tealicious.
A tealicious.
I like that. A tealicious Tuesday. Mm-hmm. Come on, Yo-Yo, give me a T word.
Taudacious.
A thoughtful Tuesday. How is that?
I just made up a word. A taudacious.
A tenacious?
Taudacious.
Oh, tenacious.
Taudacious.
Taudacious?
Like tada. Taudacious. I don't know. Tenacious
Tuesday. I like that too.
Wow, that was pretty smart.
All right, but it is Tuesday T. Kavar Harris, squad up. Alcia Stone, how are you? Squad up. Jessica Coley, squad up. Jewel Delph, how are you? Kevin Clark, squad up.
Don Harriet.
What?
Share the joke, Brad and Yo-Yo, because they heard us laughing. We always talk right before, like literally right before we go.
Why does everybody need to know everything that happens, right?
I mean, you know, that's kind of FOMO.
Is there like something that could just be between me and Yo-Yo?
Not when the family is watching.
That one we're laughing publicly, right?
They said share the joke.
I don't even remember what we were laughing about.
We were talking about if we got sent to war.
Oh, that's right.
I would burn my passport.
Yeah.
I am out of here.
Yeah, that's right. That's what Yo-Yo was telling me.
Yeah, I'm
right.
Does this look like it would go to war?
Yeah, Yo-Yo is going. That's right. Yo-Yo was telling me. He goes, if there's a draft, I'm going to Antarctica.
I'm out.
I'm burning the passport.
I'm
no
out.
way. Goodbye. See ya.
You guys will never see me.
That's what I laughed.
You'll never see
that's
me.
what he said to me. He goes, you will never see me again.
Sorry,
and that's
guys.
what made me laugh. All right, Carol Anderson, the Tiger. Squad up. How are you? Dion Reed, squad up. Jewel Delph, I think I said Christy Consali, squad up. Dawn Harriet, squad up. And who else we got here? Marj Higs. Marj Higs is a huge star of the show today.
Yeah, right? You guys got to make sure you stay tuned to Wonder Woman.
Yo-Yo, Jessica Coley commenting on the glasses.
They back.
That's what she says.
You guys have been asking.
You ask, you get, right?
There you go.
Tracy Haynes Thompson, good afternoon, good evening. Squad up, how are you? And let's see what's going on YouTube. Daryl Winnebaugh, squad up, Earth Angel Pert. Alcia Stone, double fisting.
Hey.
She almost. She almost won a cup. She was close. She was in the top 3 on both.
Stone, you got to try it just a little bit harder because I want you to win this cup.
She almost won a cup. Dionne Watson, squad up. The Top Cat, how are you? Kavar Harris, also almost winning a cup.
Ooh.
Kavar was number 1 on Facebook, but number 7 or 8 on YouTube.
Dang.
You want a hint?
What?
Should I give them a hint?
Go ahead.
I'll give you a hint.
Do it.
YouTube always goes up faster than Facebook.
Ooh, that's a big hint.
That's a big hint. That's a big hint.
Yeah.
If you want to win a cup. Cynthia Wallace, squad up. Susie Q Max, squad up. How are you? Cynthia Wallace, Dion Wilson. By the way, Omuri Abis Nicole says, I'm new here. Welcome.
Hey.
And Hamad Raji, squad up. Sashel Thomas. What does it mean that your I-130 is retained? I don't know. Who told you your I-130 is retained? I don't know what that means. That's being held. Retained, I guess, is being held by whatever office it's at. I guess. I don't know. You got to give me a little more information on that. All right, Yo-Yo, take it away.
Yep, we definitely have to say what's up to Stargirl Mika.
Why? We didn't, because we didn't.
Yeah.
Because we missed her.
Yeah.
We missed her.
We can't.
I'm like, why? Why? Because she's integral. She watches the show all the time.
Yes. So we got you. See? We got you.
Yeah. Now I know for sure why. Because she says she drinks from the Bradshaw mug every day.
Come on. You see?
She
represent like that.
She's representing. I got to say hello to her.
Yeah. All right, squad. So you already know what time it is. I need you guys all to throw in your comments and your questions in the comment section right now, because we're going to be asking or answering those questions during social media check-in. And also, please share this on all social media platforms. Share it as a text. Share it as just talking to people. All right, word of mouth always works as well, because we're about to start schmoozing with Brad. He's going to fill us in on the latest headlines, including the newest updates regarding the Biden administration's push to end the Trump-era health code Title 42 that has been used to expel migrants who seek asylum at the southern U.S. border over the last 2 years. And today is, of course, Tuesday, so we're going to be sipping on some celebrity news, including what happened between the former heavyweight champ Mike Tyson and another passenger on a JetBlue flight last week.
Oh, gosh. Yeah, we saw that on our show right before it happened.
Right when it happened. Yeah.
And by the way, Sashel Thomas on YouTube wants to know how to call to explain my question better. Well, Sashel, there's a telephone number that is scrolling, Jonathan, at the bottom of the screen. It scrolls there for 2 straight hours of our show every day. It says call 1-800-529-5465. Internationally, it's 212-227-8933. You may also see, Sashel, a man with my face on it and the body of Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson running across your screen right now holding a sign, "Ask me your immigration question." Behind that sign says call with your immigration question, or something close to that. 1-800-529-5465. Jonathan, what does it say behind the sign? We've had that same thing come up forever, for years.
What sign?
Bradshaw Live. Call 1-800-529-5465.
Yes.
I'm like, what does it say? So there it is,
Yes.
Sashel. Now you know how to call our show. We are live right now. Our lines are open. If you call right now, you will get your immigration questions answered by me, because we do have a bunch of open lines right now. And Sashel, let me give you also a hint that generally by the time I'm starting to mid-schmooze, all the lines are locked and loaded. So if you want to get your immigration question answered, now's the time to call. 1-800-529-5465. Internationally, +1 212-227-8933. And later in the show, we're going to have another squad versus crew match between Glamma, Marj Higs, and crew member Jennifer Coley in a game of What the Folk? What the Folk?
What the Folk?
Is it What the Folk or What the Folk? It should be called What the Folk.
What the Folk?
What the Folk. That's What the Folk.
What the Folk?
What the Folk.
Yes.
What countries do some of our favorite folk stories originally come from? I like that.
It's gonna be a fun game.
Glamma versus Jennifer Coley.
And Glamma came.
And she came with her A game.
She came with her A game. Came fitted. Like, she was out here looking gorgeous.
And I want you to know we're in a tough battle, crew versus squad.
What's the score?
The score right now is squad 8, crew 8.
Oh, so this is going to be a tiebreaker.
The winner of this gets to take a lead.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't know what happens when there's ultimately a winner between squad and crew. Something has to happen.
A pizza party. That's what I used to always look forward to in school.
Something has to happen.
A pizza party.
Something has to happen. We'll figure it out.
All right.
All right. You ready to schmooze?
Yes, let's do it.
it. So we talked yesterday that President Biden was starting to let immigrants enter the United States, those applying for refugee and asylum, at a border crossing, applying for asylum and allowing them into the country. Title 42 prevented that from happening for the last two and a half years under the guise of protecting the United States from further COVID infections because of the pandemic. And because now we're opening up society, President Biden said, okay, we're going to lift Title 42. We don't have to have this Remain in Mexico program anymore. We don't need to have 10 cities set up on the Mexican side. We're going to go back to the old system, the way it was for the last 40 plus years. You come to a border, you apply for asylum. If you have a credible fear, they let you in, pending your final asylum interview. Well, that lasted all of about 24 hours, Yo-Yo, because Louisiana U.S. District Judge Robert Summerhays granted a restraining order on the termination of Title 42. Summerhays was a Pumpkin appointee, appointed to the federal bench by none other than President Pumpkin himself, the Donald Trump. What we're also talking about, we're just Trumped out already.
Yes.
Tired of Trump. But he's still in the news. And he granted the motion yesterday from a group of Republican states in a lawsuit filed against the Biden administration, specifically by Louisiana, Missouri, and Arizona, that prevented the Biden administration from lifting the pandemic health recommendation because it would result in an unprecedented crisis at the United States southern border. Now, if you remember, on April 1st, the Centers for Disease Control withdrew their recommendation to the Department of Homeland Security to continue to carry out Title 42. A lot of Democrats, a lot of immigration advocates said what's happening there is cruel and inhuman. President Biden, you ran on an inclusive platform. You said you were going to bring immigration reform. Title 42, or continuing it, is not immigration reform. It is the antithesis of immigration reform. So we knew that was going to happen. I even talked about it yesterday. I said it's going to happen until some judge puts a stop to it. It wasn't even 24 hours the judge did it. Now, immigration rights advocates have also, as I said Title 42, which was originally a public health measure, could not serve in place of immigration laws. Aaron Melnick, a senior policy counsel at the American Immigration Council, said, quote, Title 42 is not an immigration law. It is an exercise of public health power to take a person who is inside the United States and send them to another country. It's basically what it is. Now, in a bit of irony, the mayors of two of the largest cities on the border of Mexico and the United States that has legal border crossings, Tucson, Arizona, and Brownsville, Texas. In a bit of irony, both of those mayors came out in favor of the Biden administration to end the pandemic restrictions on asylum. So the people at the border, the people who live at the border, the people who have to deal with people coming across the border into their community, elected representatives who are in favor of eliminating Title 42.
Oh, they're in favor of it.
They're in favor of eliminating it. They're on Biden's side. Which is ironic that there's Republican states that are nowhere near the border.
that are like, no.
But the people who are on the border and their elected officials on the border are saying yes.
That should tell you something.
That's what I'm saying. It's a bit of irony.
Yeah, I thought you were being sarcastic because I thought that you were going to say that they want Title 42.
No, they don't want it. The mayors wrote, we support the Biden administration's decision to repeal Title 42 and uphold our legal and moral obligation of providing the fundamental right to seek asylum. It is the smart thing to do. It is the right thing to do. It is fair and humane immigration system, which should be a priority for all of our leaders, not just those such as us who see the effects of a broken system every day. Now, they continued to write that Title 42 was never an immigration policy. It never worked as such at our southern border. It was a public health order that President Trump manipulated to further his exclusionary agenda and mainstream anti-immigrant rhetoric. A bit of irony.
Yeah.
A bit of irony. So, meanwhile, what's also a little trifling, Yo-Yo, is that it's coming out that the U.S. Government Accountability Office is saying that the Department of Homeland Security is undercounting the number of deaths of people trying to cross the border that are trying to come in without inspection by not crossing near a border crossing. Now, there's been more entries without inspection since the pandemic started, simply because people are in tent city. They're not allowing people to enter the United States on a more rational basis. They are preventing people from applying for asylum. They are preventing people from applying for asylum and waiting in the United States for their asylum hearing. They are applying for asylum and sitting in Mexico in a tent, waiting for their hearing to be heard months or sometimes years later. And with the idea that Trump said, you know what, people will get tired of waiting, they'll go home. That was his idea. So people say, I'm going to run across the border.
Yeah.
And when people start running across the border, people start dying. And according to the U.S. Government Accounting Office, the Department of Homeland Security is not counting all the deaths from people running across the border, because they're only counting the deaths of people that the Department of Homeland Security comes across. They are not including the number of deaths that are reported by the state police, and they are not reporting the number of deaths by other local authorities that come across dead bodies in the desert or wherever else they may come across. Now, the General Accounting Office pointed out that Congress directed Customs and Border Patrol to report on every discovery of migrant remains, not just discoveries by Department of Homeland Security, but discoveries by everybody.
Right.
So when you see the statistics of number of deaths, it's only the number of deaths that the Department of Homeland Security has come across. Now, in 2020, between 1998 and 2020, the U.S. Border Patrol recorded over 7,000 migrant deaths. In 2020 alone, it was 227 people dead that they came across trying to cross the border without inspection. Now, according to an international organization for migration, the United Nations agency that monitors migration, they claim more than 650 dead. That's a big cry from 227.
Wow.
And they say that their number is undercounted.
Wow.
So maybe it could be over 1,000 people dying trying to run across the border every year.
I agree with Burrell Harris saying that is so messed up. That is messed up.
And
these are actual human beings.
Yeah, and I want you to know something. What is very, I find it, I don't understand how you can rationalize both sides of the coin. Where people will argue, the abortion argument and say every life matters.
Right.
We can't have an abortion because every life matters. But then as soon as that life is born, that life doesn't matter as much anymore, apparently. Because nobody seems to care when people die running across the border.
Right.
Nobody seems to care. People running for their lives.
That is definitely hypocritical.
Nobody seems to care about that.
Right.
So to me, every life matters until that life is born.
Yeah.
And then the life doesn't matter as much depending on what that life looks like. Right?
It's true.
I mean, if you really want to come down to it.
It's very true.
There's more important lives than other important lives. Some lives are more important than others. Before the baby's born, every life is the same. It's very important. But once the baby's born,
should be the same.
Depending on what that baby looks like, and where that baby was born, those lives could be different.
Yeah.
Quite hypocritical.
Yeah, I agree.
And I'll tell you what else is I find hypocritical is that nobody talks about this.
Right.
Nobody seems to care.
Except for the two ladies that I did that interview.
That is right.
That's actually what I started thinking about.
Yeah, do you remember you spoke with Christy Guevara,
and
Flanagan, and Maite Zabare, and they appeared on a show, about a month ago? Right, and they represent Eagles of the Desert, a volunteer group who goes out once a month to search for missing migrants at the U.S. southern border. According to Christy and Maite, it's estimated that only 1 out of every 5 migrants are actually ever found.
Yeah.
So if I don't know, if they say the UN says 600 dead, and now Christie and Mighty is saying only 1 out of 5 are found. It's maybe more than that. Maybe it's 2,000. Maybe it's 3,000 people dead at the border every year because we don't want to interview them at a border crossing and allow those people into the United States who pass a credible fear interview that their life is in danger. They could be killed if they go back home. That life's not as important as the unborn child.
Yeah.
That's what is hypocritical about the whole thing. And by the way, this is also a little bit trifling. Did you see CNN obtained 2,319 text messages that former President Donald Trump's White House Chief of Staff Mark Meadows sent and received between Election Day 2020 and President Joe Biden's January 20th, 2021 inauguration? Why that's important. What I found most interesting was before I tell you what I found most interesting, they included messages to the Trump family. Now, Mark Meadows was the chief of staff. He's basically President Trump's right-hand man. They include messages from Trump's family, Ivanka Trump, son-in-law Jared Kushner, son Donald Trump Jr., as well as White House and campaign officials, cabinet members, Republican Party leaders, January 6th rally organizers. January 6th was the insurrection. Rudy Giuliani, the pillow guy, Mike Lindell, Sean Hannity. I'll tell you what I found most interesting about all of this. About how dirty and politics is. Before the election was even called, before anybody even knew whether Donald Trump or Joe Biden was going to be the next president, he was already receiving text messages about how they can spin if Trump loses that the election was rigged and was a fraud.
Oh, wow.
Before even the results came in. Then, what I also found very interesting is another set of text messages when the January 6th insurrection was happening. And a lot of people are texting Mark Meadows, congressmen, politicians are texting Mark Meadows, tell Trump to stop this, tell Trump to stop this, and he wouldn't stop it. At 3:45 p.m., in the middle of the insurrection, Donald Trump's campaign spokesman, Jason Miller, sent out a text message to Mark Meadows at 3:45. Call me crazy, but I got 2 ideas. This is an exact quote in the text message. Call me crazy, but I got 2 ideas. 1, bad apples, likely Antifa or other crazed leftists infiltrated today's peaceful protest over a fraudulent vote count. 2, the fake news media are now trying to blame peaceful and innocent MAGA supporters for violent actions. So before 3:45, at 3:45, Trump campaign came out with these 2 talking points that nobody ever said a word about beforehand. At 3:52, Congressman Green is already texting people and texting Mark Meadows 7 minutes later, Mark, we don't think these attackers are our people. We think it's Antifa dressed like Trump supporters.
Sir.
5 minutes later, Representative Louis Gohmert, a Texas Republican, texted Mark Meadows. Capitol Police told me last night they've been warned today that it's a lot of Antifa people dressed as Trump supporters. Now, that's what they were going with right after, if you remember, right after the insurrection. These were not Trump supporters. These were all leftists, socialists, Antifa people, anarchists who are pretending to be Trump supporters but are not. It was all made up.
Yeah.
All made up. And you saw it right there in the text messages. And you want to know why we all know it was made up now, 16 months later?
Why?
Because after hundreds and hundreds of indictments, not one person who was arrested, who was found, because they all found people by video. You have video of people in the Congress. They did facial recognition. They located the person. They arrested him. Not one person was an Antifa supporter. They were all Trump supporters. Every last one of them.
That's crazy. They literally just put out lies.
They put out absolute lies. Now, Congressman Green, she's facing a legal challenge down in Georgia now as being an insurrectionist herself, basically being a traitor to the United States Constitution, in this court case is trying to bar her from re-election. The other thing that I found quite disturbing about all of this is there's a lot of text messages between Mark Meadows and Sean Hannity. Sean Hannity is the number one most watched show on Fox News. He just celebrated, I think, 25 or 30 years on Fox News as the longest running news program in the United States of America. But it's not a news program. It's not even an opinion program.
Right.
It is a political spin program. And how do we know it is a political spin program? Because there are hundreds of text messages between Sean Hannity, who is supposed to be an independent newsman, who is supposed to be perhaps giving his opinion, but certainly giving the news, speaking to Mark Hannity through these text messages, Mark Meadows through these text messages, and asking for direction. What does he want Trump? What does Trump want me to say?
Oh, whoa.
What does Trump want me to say?
Whoa.
And on election day, Meadows texted Hannity, stress every vote matters, get out the vote. And Hannity replied, yes, sir, on it. Any place in particular we need to push
That's insane.
for the vote.
That is insane.
So he's not an independent newsman.
No.
I find it all trifling. So all BS, all this politics. All this politics is BS. And by the way, you saw Kamala Harris tested positive for COVID.
I found out right when it happened.
How do you find out right when it happened?
You got my inside.
You've got your inside scoop on Kamala?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Eventually, everyone's going to get it. I'm sure President Biden will get it too. She's not sick. I read an article that over 60% of Americans have had COVID.
That makes sense.
Eventually, it's going to happen to everybody.
We said that too.
Yeah. And we talked about the mask mandate being dropped by airlines. They're allowing most people who are banned from the airlines to return. But the FAA says we're going to have a zero tolerance policy on unruly passengers moving forward.
So act right.
Act right. If not, they're never going to let you back on an airplane.
Yeah, you're lucky you're getting a second chance now.
Very lucky. Let's do some tea. I'm thirsty.
Yes.
Tea?
Tea time. Ooh, what do we got? What we
We
got?
don't even have any tea music today. How sad.
I
I didn't ask you to sing. Excuse me. We want our own tea music. There we go.
Sorry, the sound mixer's not here today.
So what we got today?
Honey ginger tea today.
Oh, honey ginger.
Have we had honey ginger tea before?
Yes, I believe so.
Yes.
This is
before?
like
Not for a while.
Not for
this
a
is
while.
like a Jamaican remedy.
Wow. I just dropped my. Thank you very much.
Ooh, it smells very
Thank you
gingery.
very much. I appreciate it. That's a very good job. Thank you. Let's taste this. How are we doing?
Oh,
Let's see.
this is good. Yes,
Good?
I've had
Cheers.
this.
Cheers, everybody. Enjoy your tea if you're joining us for tea. This is very good. Why is it so sweet?
Honey.
Is honey infused?
Yes. With ginger. Do you feel the ginger?
I do. I like it. You ever have ginger shots?
Yeah, yes.
When you're not well?
Yes, when I'm not well. Yes.
Very nice.
This is good.
All right. So talking about airplanes, we were talking about this on Thursday. Mike Tyson.
Man.
You know, you could take the man out of the ring, but he's still in that ring, right?
Listen, that's somebody that I would never try and just mess with.
At first, when I first heard the story, before I heard anything that happened, I'm like, oh, come on. You know, first Will Smith, now Mike Tyson. Why is everybody hitting everybody?
This is
But this
different.
was completely different.
This is different.
This was
guy
different.
was a douchebag.
This guy
He
was asking
nasty.
for it.
And Mike Tyson gave him a selfie. He was nice to him at first. Look at him in the back. He's just chilling.
And you want to know what? I mean, this is Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
Okay, you got to know who you're dealing with.
Remember what he's had a pretty bad past. You know,
You got to know who you're dealing with.
We know that he's made some horrible mistakes in the past. So it's like that you are not.
So Mike Tyson turned around to the seat and beat the crap out of this guy.
We got a video.
Yeah, there he is. Oh yeah, there he goes with the right into the face.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Look at it.
yeah.
Woo! Do you understand?
I'm going to tell you
the fact
something.
that guy
I'm going
next
to
to
tell
him
you, people would pay $20 for pay-per-view to watch that fight, right?
Listen.
So before the beatdown, apparently this guy, you called him a douchebag.
Yeah, look how he looks.
Yeah. He was apparently seen on video posted by TMZ standing over Mike Tyson's seat, waving his arms, talking, animatedly, while the former boxer was just sitting there just trying to chill out.
I think it was self-defense.
This guy's name, he has a name, Melvin Townsend III. Okay, he was left beat up.
And bloodied.
Yeah, now when the flight landed...
Look at his face.
When the flight landed...
Doofus.
Yeah, when the flight landed, they were both escorted to the police. Townsend said he doesn't want to press charges, and the police let them both go. But
we found out that he had prior arrests.
Yeah.
So
now a close source to Tyson, who was not on the flight, said if Mike was really punching him, he would have laid the guy out.
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely. I'm going to tell you, Mike Tyson punched now, even in his 50s. He would knock anybody out.
Look how strong that punch looked.
Woo. Yeah, this guy has a record in 2018. He stole a trailer that was hitched to a pickup truck. He had some drug possession charges. He's just a jerk.
Yeah, I am surprised he didn't press charges though.
Yeah, no, he did not press.
Or at least try to get some money.
I don't know,
but
yeah, he's got a lawyer now though, so I'm sure he may be suing. He may be suing Mike Tyson.
Yeah, because I'm sure a lot of people, if he didn't press charges there, I'm sure he had a lot of people that were like, "Hey, guy,
Mike,
we could get something out of this."
Now, Mike Tyson's lawyer, Townsend's lawyer said, at a certain point, Mr. Tyson clearly became agitated by an overly excited fan and began to strike him in an excessive manner. This situation could have been avoided simply by contacting the flight attendant. Our client denies throwing a water bottle prior to being struck by Mr. Tyson. Now, Mr. Tyson has the defenses. I felt threatened.
I feel. He's behind him.
Yeah, I don't think he's not going to settle Tyson. I doubt it.
No, I don't think so either.
I think you'll see this. This will be like 3-4 years. We'll be talking about their trial.
Yeah.
I doubt he'll settle this.
I don't think he should.
Yeah.
This is a man that bit somebody's ear off. Why would you
go after this guy?
Look at him. He bit Evander Holyfield's ear.
Yeah.
Off.
Exactly. Why would you?
Why would you do this? And he has edibles with ears.
And the man's got a tattoo on his face.
On his face.
You have a tattoo on. You don't mess with a guy with a tattoo on his face, right?
No.
Guy has a tattoo on his face. You leave him alone.
You're an idiot for this,
right?
Yes.
If you see a guy with a tattoo on his face,
I don't care how old he is. I am leaving him alone.
Yes. I think the tattoo on his face says it all.
Yes.
You don't mess with a guy with a tattoo on his face. They're crazy.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And I told you guys about how I feel about celebrities, just because I hang out with so many and I have actual friends that are. I know Brad and I, we always go back and forth with this. He doesn't agree with my thing, but these people are human. And, especially if you already have some kind of mental, kind of thing going on. You're chilling, you're nice, you give them a selfie, and on top of that, you still, agitating, you're bound to just blow up. So I'm on Tyson's side.
All right. What do you think of ASAP Rocky? I don't get this.
Yeah,
I don't get this. On Wednesday, April 20th, man's got everything going for him.
Yeah.
Right?
A billionaire girlfriend.
He's got everything in the world. Why is he even associated with some of these people? Rocky and pregnant Rihanna, they were living it up in the Bahamas, came back on a private plane, and when he came back, ASAP Rocky, he's arrested for his involvement in a shooting that occurred on November 6, 2021. This didn't happen years and years ago.
Right.
This happened 4 months ago.
It happened while she was still pregnant.
This happened 4 months ago. He's accused of approaching a man whose name has not been released on Argyle and Selma Avenue in Los Angeles at around 10:20 p.m. with 2 other men and firing 3 to 4 shots at the man. The victim did not die, but he did get shot. And then a day later, A$AP Rocky performed with Rihanna in attendance like nothing happened. Now, he's let out on bail of, what was it, $550,000. If convicted of felony assault with a deadly weapon, he can go to jail for 4 years, pay $10,000 in fines, mandatory probation. I don't get why when he needs to be involved in this. Whether he was the guy who shot or he was just there as a bystander. I mean, it could be very well that he was just there as a bystander, but why is he even involved in any of this?
Yeah. I mean, there's a saying, you could take the man out of the hood, but you could never take the hood out of a man. So, you're from Harlem, you hang out with Harlem people, you hang out with,
Wait a second, you live in Harlem, you're not going around shooting people?
I mean, I'm not from there, you know what I mean? Like when you're born and raised in the hood, like you still hang out. Like I know a lot of celebrity rappers that are from Harlem that literally just chill on the corner with their guys, with their boys. And who's to say like it wasn't one of his boys that actually did it and he was just with them. It's just, sometimes it could be wrong place, wrong time. I can't speak on it because I wasn't there. But it's just very unfortunate, especially for the fact that, they are bringing a baby into this world. They had to cancel their baby shower that they, had. This is both of their first child. So it's unfortunate.
Yeah, a source said it was meant to be Rihanna's baby shower in LA on Wednesday night, but they had to cancel it. She's very, very upset. She's stressed by Rocky's arrest. It's not the best time for her to be on such an emotional roller coaster.
Yeah.
She's heavily pregnant. And these are very serious accusations. It's a nightmare scenario.
Yeah.
I just don't get it. I get it, but I don't get it. In other words, I get it. Yes, he grew up, but I don't get it.
Yeah.
I get it, but I don't get it. That's all I can tell you.
Yeah.
It's very, very sad situation.
It is.
All right, I get upset when I see these things.
I do too.
Our guy has everything going for him. What does he need to be involved in this crap for?
Yeah.
Okay? What does he need to be involved in it?
I agree.
All right, it's TikTok time, yo-yo. In this edition of TikTok Time, I answer questions about student sponsorship and amnesty. Let's watch. Anyone in the United States can give you financial support in an affidavit of support and pay for your college or university, including your uncle. What you need to do is get accepted to a university and prove at the U.S. Embassy that your uncle, whoever's giving you the affidavit of support, is able to pay your tuition, your room, your board, without you taking a job. And then you also have to prove that you intend to leave at the end of your studies. So your uncle, whoever's giving the financial support, is just a small part of a much bigger picture. Good luck. Amnesty is that if you meet certain requirements, you get to live in the United States as a lawful permanent resident for the rest of your life. What has passed the House of Representatives is parole status, something less than lawful permanent residence. Parole status allows you to remain lawfully in the United States for 5 years and extended for an additional 5 years, but it is not lawful permanent resident status, which would be for life. The idea is hopefully that a future Congress would not revoke the parole status after 10 years and extend it or perhaps turn it into an amnesty in the future. That's the difference. Yo-Yo mentioned to me, I said that they were coming back from the Bahamas.
Barbados.
They were from Barbados, and I want you to know, I know Rihanna's from Barbados, and my card said Barbados, but the word Bahamas came out of my mouth.
Maybe you need to go to the Bahamas.
Maybe I need to go to the Bahamas.
Sarah V. Shout out to
Thank
Sarah
you.
V for shouting that out.
And Mike has to...
Yes, yes. Shout out to Sarah V.
So thank you very much. And I went back and I looked at my card and I'm like, yeah, it does say Barbados. I know she's from Barbados. She's the most famous person from Barbados.
She's the first billionaire
That's
from
right.
Barbados.
And we just talked about that the other day.
Yep.
And I said, Bahamas.
Happens sometimes. But we always have the squad to make sure we're right.
Thank you very much. Yes. All right. You ready for some meat and potatoes?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it. All right, let's go to Nicole in Atlanta. Nicole, how are you?
I'm fine. Good evening.
Good evening. What can I do to help you?
Okay, my question is, I have a friend who was recently denied her I-485. She was denied twice. This is the second time. I just want to know what she has to do about
It depends why she was denied. Why was she denied?
Okay, they said misinformation because she actually feel that she was a clerical officer back in her home, but when she got here, whoever filled the form feel that she was a supervisor.
Okay, so they're saying that she had lied on her application for her tourist visa.
Yeah.
She's married to a U.S. citizen.
Yes.
So she needs to file. I assume she filed a waiver and got the waiver denied. Is that what happened? Or she never filed a waiver?
No, she never filed a waiver.
Okay, well, then there's the simple answer. If you have a misrepresentation, you're going to get denied for the rest of your life until you file a waiver with your adjustment application. The waiver, it's on an I-601 form. You have to prove extreme and unusual hardship to the spouse if the wife doesn't get a green card. So that's the missing piece, and you need a good lawyer to do that. It's not just filling out a form, because you got to document extreme and unusual hardship, and the documentation is usually after a lawyer interviews you and is able to express it much better than somebody who doesn't handle these type of situations on a regular basis. So you need to file the adjustment with a hardship waiver. Hold on one second.
Okay.
All right, let's go to Valerie in Brooklyn. Valerie.
Yes, hello.
Hello, how are you?
Good, thank you. Good, thanks. So I have a quick question, and my question is, I was following on your blog the other day, and you mentioned if someone is here undocumented for over 15 years, they could go out of the country and come back without any issues.
I never said that.
Oh, okay.
It's not my blog.
I saw that somewhere.
Okay, but that's not my blog. I never said that.
It's not.
Okay, if you are undocumented in the United States for 15 years and you leave the United States for any reason without advance parole, you're not coming back for a decade.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yes.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
So I wanted to follow up to that quickly. So I have a friend that came to this country to her daughter, and she brought two kids, 14 and 16. They've been here now for 30-something years. They're going to be almost 47 and 50.
Right.
They didn't qualify for the DACA, which was so unfortunate.
Right, they were too old.
Because, yeah, and it sucks because they've been here for so long, and people that came after them were qualified or eligible, and not them.
Right.
And of course, they don't have anyone back where their country of origin, so they're here with mom.
Mom never got a green card. I mean, this is really an issue of I've been here undocumented for half my life. How do I get a green card? That's
Mom got the green card. Mom is a citizen.
How did mom get a green card?
Through the daughter. One of the older daughters.
Okay, so has mom ever filed for these children who are now
when mom tried to file for them, the law said, I think mom got her papers around 9/11. So at that point, there was a law stating, I think...
all right, so it sounds like if mom did file back years ago?
She didn't. She
never did.
She waited until she was a citizen and tried to file, but now they have to go out of the country, and it's pointless.
They need a provisional waiver first. This is the bottom line, okay? These people have been struggling for half of their life to try to get a green card. There is not a way, if I sat here and talked to you about these people who I don't know for 20 minutes on a live show, that I will fix their problems.
Sure.
They need to come and speak to me, have a personal one-on-one consultation, and we'll fix it some way, somehow, somewhere. We'll figure it out. Hold on. Let's go to Simone in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Simone.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I called this night. Simone, I'm calling to ask a question of musicians that said there. I have a son who was here around 10 years back. Okay, he was here, but he's not behaving himself and thing until I'm getting certain.
You have a son who's been here for 10 years. How old is the son now?
Yes.
How old is the son now?
He's 30.
So he's an adult man.
Yeah, but he went back to Jamaica.
When did he go back to Jamaica?
It's 10 years.
10 years ago.
10 years now.
Okay.
Yeah.
How did he come originally to the United States?
He come here, and when he come here when he was 14. He went to school and everything.
Okay, and then he left when?
He left when he about 20s.
Okay, and now that was 10 years ago. And your question is what? And your question is what?
I want to know if he can come back here.
Well, what is yours? Someone's got to file for him. He's not going to get a visa to come back, that's for sure. But maybe he can get a green card if somebody files for him. What's your status?
My status? I don't have any.
You have no status. He's not going to get a visa to return to the United States. His mother is out of status here for decades. He lived here out of status for 10 years. The U.S. government's not going to give him a visa to come visit or go to school or anything like that. He can try to get a green card if he has a family member, if he has a future
you have
spouse.
Kids here. You come here and get kids here and everything.
How old are his kids now?
14.
When his children are 21, they'll file for him to return in 7 years.
Okay.
That's what will happen.
Okay.
All right.
There's nothing more than that.
Nothing. Not unless one of the mothers of his children, who's a U.S. citizen, is in love with him and wants to marry him in a bona fide marriage.
There's only one kid they have, and it's an American. The wife is an American.
All right. So if she wants to marry him and they're in love, then that's another way to do it.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Let's go to Jake and Dayton. Jake.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Hi. Good, how are you?
Good, what's going on?
So, quick question. So, I have a buddy that came in as an F1, but he worked while as an F1, off campus and stuff, and his company, filed for him right now, the EB3 petition and stuff, and so we were just wondering, are they going to deny it because he worked off campus? I mean, it hasn't come up anywhere, but we just wanted to know.
The answer is this. If he's doing a job sponsorship through an employment-based application, and he's basing it and he wants to adjust his status here because he's on a student visa, he has to show he's maintained his status on a student visa. So if he worked off of campus unlawfully, illegally, then he violated his student visa status. He's not lawfully in student visa status anymore.
Okay, so the other question will be how is USC? Is he going to tell USCIS that hey, he worked off campus?
I'm not his attorney to tell him what he should or should not do. Right. He has to tell the truth. But if he, and when he tells the truth, he'll have violated his visa status.
Yeah. So in that case,
he needs to speak to an attorney in a privileged one-on-one consultation. That's what he needs.
Okay. Thank you.
All right.
All right.
Let's go to Kimona in Nashville, Tennessee. Kimona.
Yes. Good evening.
How are you?
I'm good. You?
Wonderful, thank you.
So I have a question. My boss. So we had a consultation with you about 3 weeks ago, and I didn't remember if I had mentioned to you that I have a J1 visa, and you told me that I have 180 days to stay here legally after my time is up, but my boss cannot find it anywhere on Google or anything.
I didn't say you can stay here illegally. What I said was that if you got sponsored in a job, I don't remember our conversation, but I'm sure this is what I said to you. If you get sponsored in a job under Section 245K, let your boss look that up. 245K, under Section 245K, you can adjust your status here as someone who overstayed their visa as long as you are eligible to adjust your status within 180 days of an overstay, only on an employment-based case. And if you are my client and had a consultation, you should speak to me personally and not on my show. Those are my two thoughts to you. Hold on. But it's 245K. Let him look it up. Let's go to Selena in Long Beach, California.
Hi, hello, good afternoon.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. How about you?
Good.
All right. My question is because I got petitioned by my stepmom and me and my dad got petitioned by my stepmom last 2020, and we got interviewed 2021, but our case got pending on that first interview, and then on January 2022, my stepfather petitioned me also, but then my father and my stepmom had their second interview in February 2022, but then they didn't call me. So what happened was that they got their green card. It's a 10-year green card, and then but my green card hasn't yet
right.
have status.
So let me understand this correctly. Because you threw a lot of dates and stepfathers and biological fathers at me. Okay, so let me just understand if I got this right. Your stepfather filed for you and your mom at some point. They got a Stokes interview. You went for a first interview with you and your mom. They got a Stokes interview. They went to a Stokes interview. You were not called to the Stokes interview, obviously, because it has nothing to do with you proving it's a bona fide marriage. Your mother got approved. She got her 10-year card. While that was happening, your other side of the family, your biological father filed for you also. I don't know what he filed for, but you can't have two pending adjustments at the same time. Most likely because your father filed for you too. Two worlds crashed, and they had to compile both files together, which is why you probably did not get approved with your mother. It's my guess. But if your mother got approved and you have a pending adjustment, and that was the first one filed, that should also be approved. I don't know what craziness happened with your father also filing for you, which could have. What happens is when somebody files for you and you now have two applications and two different files, immigration doesn't make any decision until they put the files together. So that's probably what happened. But, you know, what more I can tell you? You know, you need my help? Hold on. All right.
All right. Thank you so much.
But you should get your green card through that first adjustment.
Oh, okay. So they will still base my petition, my green card
based on what you told me, they should. Yes. Hold on. But you should be getting it. Hold on. Okay. Let's go to Nitty in Riverside, California.
Hi, good evening, sir. How are you?
How are you?
I'm okay, sir. Just a question. I have filed for the citizenship, and I'm like little bit confused, you know, because when we fill out the application, we have to provide like what's your spouse, like is he a green card holder or is he a citizen? So I clicked on NCR, and
what's your spouse? What is your spouse?
I clicked on LPR because he is a legal permanent resident.
LPR. Okay, so what's the problem?
So, sir, I am confused because, you know, I previously talked to you and I was so much relaxed, but I need your help. So, I already did my fingerprint. So, then, you know, I will be getting the interview and whatever because he has a conviction of misdemeanor. So, is it gonna affect him when I filed it, or will they ask anything about that?
No, your husband's convictions has no bearing on your citizenship.
Okay.
It may affect his citizenship, but has no effect on you.
Yes, sir. But, sir, when, you know, they will be taking my interview, can they just, you know, do something regarding him also, or not at that point until he files?
You filed for your citizenship. I don't know what your husband did. Did he file for his citizenship too?
No, he did not, sir. Because
so just leave him alone. You do your citizenship. You will become a citizen. Whatever your husband did, You are not responsible for a conviction that your husband did. It's not your responsibility. Your husband, before he files his citizenship, should have a conversation with a lawyer about what his conviction is and is he eligible for citizenship.
Sir, he is convicted of misdemeanor, so is there any chance he
I
can
don't know
get
what
citizenship?
misdemeanor he was convicted of. I don't know what the facts are of his case. I don't know how long he's had a green card. I don't know if that's his only arrest. I don't know how many years after he got his green card did he get arrested. I don't know when this conviction was. Lots of questions I have for your husband.
Sir, we need your help. Is there any way we
You
can
will become a citizen. Your husband needs a consultation. Hold on. Okay? All right. Sean in Boston.
Hi, how are you?
How are you?
I'm great, thanks for asking. I have 3 questions. First of all, you had answered a question for me a few weeks ago, which is great, about my friend being out of status and his employer wants to file for him.
About your friend being out of status and what?
His employer wants
His employer filed for him. Okay. Okay.
My question is, does he have to go home for this to happen?
Well, if you're out of status and you're getting sponsored by your employer, you have one of 3 scenarios. You could be under one scenario, number 1, which was that caller who called earlier in the show, where your I-140 is approved or your perm is approved and you're eligible to file your I-140 and adjustment simultaneously within 180 days of an overstay. You can file an adjustment application under Section 245K of the Immigration Nationality Act. If you've overstayed by more than 180 days and you want to adjust your status through an employment-based case, then you have to be grandfathered under Section 245I of the Immigration Nationality Act, which means that either you or your parents, in which you were derivative of that application, had an application filed on or before April 30th, 2001 that was approvable, and you were physically here on December 21st, 2000, or you had anything filed before January 14th, 98, or your parents, in which you were derivative, had anything filed before January 14th, 1998, then you could use that old case, even though you never got a green card through that old case, and a new case, 1 and 1, to adjust your status. Or third option is that you have a spouse or parents here who are legal, and you do a provisional waiver through them after you get your I-140 visa petition approved. You get your waiver approved, you go home and come back. Those are the 3 possibilities for getting sponsored in a job as a visa overstay.
Okay. I'll have him come and consult with you. Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
All right, let's go to Jackson in Chicago. Jackson.
Hello, sir.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good.
I have a question. I have a pending 751, so that's removal of conditions. So I'm getting divorced with my wife. We're waiting for a paperwork. My question is, divorcing paperwork. Do I have to let USCIS know that I'm getting divorced?
Yes. Let them know you're getting divorced. Submit proof that divorce is pending. Ask to transfer it. Transfer your file. Convert your file to a waiver based on the divorce. They will ultimately, in the next few months, 4, 5, 6 months, send you an RFE asking for the full divorce. Give you a couple more months for that. And by that time, hopefully you're fully divorced. The reason you want to do that is we don't know if your spouse is vindictive, because your spouse could write immigration today and say, withdraw my case, because she signed it. And then you're out of status. Once you convert the case, she's off the file. She can't do anything.
Okay, so because I don't have the address at the moment, I'm living in the semi-truck. Is that going to be a problem?
Semi-truck. Then go get a P.O. box at a local mailbox, or use your friend's address and ask them if you can use a friend's address.
Do I have to transfer my ID with that address?
At some point, yes. I mean, if it's going to be temporary for a few weeks, no.
Yeah, understand. Okay. So that's going to be a waiver, right?
What's going to be available?
No, I'm asking. That's going to be a waiver. So I'm going to be asking for a waiver. That's the next step. Once I'm going to get fully divorced.
You're going to ask for a waiver. You are asking for a waiver of the joint application. You're asking them to convert your case to a waiver of the joint application based on the fact that you are in a bona fide marriage and proceeding on a divorce. That's what you're going to write.
Exactly. Does that mean automatically that they're going to have to go to the interview?
100%.
Thank you so much, sir.
All right. Let's go to Ann in Brooklyn. Ann. Ann in Brooklyn.
Yes, Brad. Good evening.
How are you, Ann?
Yes, Brad. I'm calling to find out something about my Social Security card, Brad.
Go ahead.
I went today to take out an insurance, right? And when they asked me for the Social Security card, they're telling me that it's not a Social Security card, it's an IT number.
That's correct.
Because it said valid for work only with DHS authorization.
No, that is a Social Security number. You can use that you can use that number. That's a perfectly good number. That's not a TIN number.
But they said it's not a Social Security number because it marked.
No, it just marked that you're only allowed to use it for work if you have DHS authorization. It doesn't say only allowed to use it. It doesn't say you can't use it to buy an insurance policy. It's a valid Social Security number.
They say I have to get that off it first before I can get the insurance.
That's not true. Whoever you're talking to, whatever broker you're talking to is just wrong.
So it's an Social Security?
You have a valid Social Security number that says you can use this number for employment if you have work authorization. But buying insurance is not employment. Buying insurance is insurance. It's, it's your number that you're going to have for the rest of your life. And by the way, you can file taxes with it anyway, whether you have authorization or not.
Yeah, I have the authorization, but the lady said I have to.
The lady's wrong. Go call a new lady. She lost your business. Go find a new broker.
Okay, thank you, bro.
All right. Simple as that. Let's go. She's wrong. Go find a new broker. She lost your business. Jonathan in Chicago.
Hi, Brad.
How are you?
I'm doing good. I have a question with regards to military parole in place. After it gets approved, can you travel?
No.
Would I need to...
You need to file an adjustment of status application, get an advance parole, and that allows you to travel.
Oh, all right then. Thank you.
All right. Good luck. All right. Let's go to Mo in Reno, Nevada.
Hello?
Hi.
Hey, thanks for your time, Brad. Just, I have my I-140 approved, and 485 has been pending for more than 180 days, and I changed jobs. Last week was my last week with my previous employer, and during that week I got an RFE to submit the medical records.
Okay.
Now this week is today's my second day with my new employer, and I have the results of the medical records.
Great.
My question for you is, can I send them directly, or do I need to do I-485J along with them?
No, just you respond to the RFEs as you get them.
Okay, and if I didn't file I-485J, is this going to be a problem in the future?
Well, what you're referencing is that you want to change your employer, so you're going to need to do that, but you're not going to do that as part of an RFE. You're going to do that separately. And what the law says is that if you get sponsored in a job and it's more than 180 days and there's no decision on that adjustment of status application that you filed for your pending employment-based case, you can switch jobs, which is what you did, as long as it is in the same position, same job duties, and similar or higher salary.
It is.
So then you are going to convert it with a new job letter, but you're not going to do it as part of the RFE.
Okay, and just my question, if my new employer was lazy to file till I get the green card, is going to cause a problem for me in the future?
Well, it will cause a problem. Between me, you, and the thousands of people who are watching, nobody knows. But when you go to file for your citizenship, it will be a problem because they'll figure it out, and then they're gonna look to take your green card away. That's usually when they find out. So do the right thing.
Okay, thank you.
The employer has nothing. So easy. They just write a letter. It's just a job letter with your job duties. They don't have to do that much.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Okay.
Okay, thanks. Appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, let's go to Abdul in the Bronx.
Yeah, Brad, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
How are you?
Good.
I have two questions for you.
Yes.
The first one is, what happens when a baby is born to a U.S. citizen abroad?
What happens?
Yeah.
Generally, the baby's a U.S. citizen as long as the parent lived in the United States for at least 5 years before the child's birth.
Oh, okay, thank you. And then the second one is, I have a friend who crossed the border to come apply for asylum in America, but his application got denied. So he went to Canada and applied for asylum, and then now he is a Canadian citizen.
Great.
And he's asking whether he can ever visit the U.S.
He can visit the United States 10 years after he left.
Oh, okay.
Okay?
Okay. Does he have to go through visa?
Well, it depends. Was he ordered deported?
No, he wasn't deported. He was ordered deported, but he left on his own.
Okay, so he would need to get a waiver to re-enter after the deportation. So he would need to do that and go to the embassy.
Okay. And how long would that take for him to be able to do?
How long does a waiver take at the embassy? A few months.
Oh, okay.
All right?
Okay. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Let's go to Ulrich in Silver Spring, Maryland. Ulrich.
Hey, Brian.
How are you?
I'm doing good. Thank you for your time. I have a
My
question. So I came here as on the tourist visa, and then I applied for asylum like 7 years ago, and my case got approved, and I applied for my green card. It's still pending. Now, my question is, can I sponsor my nephew who is looking to come over to the United States for study?
Can you sponsor your nephew? You have a pending asylum?
Yes.
Yeah, you can give the affidavit of support and financial documentation for your nephew, but it's also possible that they'll say, "Oh, your uncle applied for asylum, maybe you will too. We won't give you the student visa."
Right. So
that's the problem you run into. But the answer is yes. You don't have to be a U.S. citizen to give support for a student visa.
Okay, but more likely he will get denied.
My guess would be, if I'm an immigration officer and I'm looking at an application, we have a student visa for Joe. Joe has to prove he's going to return to his home country, and the person giving him the support is a guy who is his uncle who came to the United States and applied for asylum and never wants to go back to that country. Don't you think Joe's going to do the same thing, or likely?
Yeah, more likely. That's true. Makes sense. Makes sense.
All right.
Thank you, Brett. Okay. Thank you.
And by the way, if you didn't get your immigration questions asked and answered, you could always call us. You could always call me, 1-800-529-5465. You could also drop me a DM at Real Brad Bernstein on Instagram. If you drop me a DM on Instagram, I will try to answer your question. If it's a long, complicated issue, I'll probably tell you to make a consultation with me. But you can always try me, drop me a DM. I do answer everybody's questions. It does take me sometimes a few days to get to you, but I will get to you. Just follow me at Real Brad Bernstein on Instagram. Also, if you don't like us for 2 hours, or you don't have the time for 2 hours, but you want to catch a little bit of me and Yo-Yo, follow us on Instagram at Brad Show Live. And of course, you could always leave your comments and questions also on our fastest growing social media platform, TikTok. If you leave your comments or questions on TikTok and I see your comment or question, I may very well answer it in a personalized video to you for the entire world to see.
Yep, and you guys can follow me at Jonathan Elias TV on Instagram.
And later in the show, squad member Marj Higs, a.k.a. Glamma, and crew member Jennifer Coley will compete in a game of What the Folk? Right now, the score is Squad 8, Crew 8. We're going to see what happens with folk tales around the world. Who knows more folk tales from around the world? We'll see whether the squad or the crew pull ahead.
Can't wait for that one. And now Hannah Jordan of the Snug Harbor Lantern Festival tells us her immigration background. Now, what's your immigration background, squad? Let us know in the comments.
My family is mostly Irish, Polish, and Italian. I've been lucky enough to visit the places in Ireland and Italy where I came from. I have a rock from a castle my family owned hundreds of years ago in Ireland. The life I live now is very different from the life even my grandparents live, and I think I am reminded of that constantly.
Hello! All right, we got social media check-in, Yayo?
We do.
All right, let's do it.
All right, Alicia Pendergast, Facebook VIP member. Is medical deferred action still being considered? I've been here almost 9 years and was getting referrals or renewals every 2 years along with the working authorization. Since 2019, all I've been given is a letter of consideration. What can I do?
You can follow up with your local immigration office. I'm not sure what you mean by letter of consideration, but deferred action, if you're here for medical treatment and there's no medical treatment at your home country, and if you go home, basically going to be left to die on the street, yeah, they'll keep you in deferred action here.
Okay, Nicole Hernandez, a VIP Facebook member. My friend's mom filed for him, but when that filing was in process, he got married and went well, and he came to the U.S. and now is a citizen. He filed for his son and wife. The son got through, but his wife did not. He was told he has to divorce his wife and remarry and refile. Is there any truth to this, or is there a waiver he can put in to get his wife with him?
What did he come up as a single person when he said he was?
So my friend's mom filed for him, but when that filing was in process, he got married.
Okay, so he came up to the United States as a married man who claimed he was single. So he committed a immigration fraud. And he ultimately became a citizen, and nobody figured it out.
And even got his son.
And now they're not going to take away his citizenship, but they're going to take it out on the wife.
Yeah.
He needs a consultation.
Wow. That's the first I've heard of that.
Yeah.
Melissa Hilton on Facebook, a Facebook VIP member. What's the fastest way to get my 18-year-old brother here? I'm a green card holder. I won't be able to apply for citizenship until October 2023.
Student visa.
Vapa Penny on YouTube. Just received my 10-year marriage-based green card 2 months before my 2-year wedding anniversary. Should I send it back?
No, you can't. You have your 2-year card, and in 2 years from now, you got to file to remove the conditions.
Okay, Nikisha Ed on YouTube. Did my interview at the embassy in Jamaica, but my medical was not complete. I completed the medical and sent it in. Have not heard anything from the embassy. When I check CEAC, the Consular Electronic Application Center, it says affidavit incomplete. What does this mean?
It means something is incomplete. You better contact them and see what you need to fix.
Omar Ruyi, Nicole on YouTube. My friend came through a student visa and got married. Her I-485 has been denied twice. What should she do?
I think this is the same woman who called before. She got denied twice because she committed a fraud on her visa application. She needs a waiver. Refile again.
Camille Thomas on YouTube. If you're undocumented and working and now they want to put you on payroll where taxes will come out of your pay, is that a red flag in the future?
No.
Daryl Winnabaugh on YouTube. What's the estimated time to file an N-400 and get approved if I'm eligible on May 3rd? I'm on a diversity visa lottery.
About 6-8 months these days.
Andrea Braham on Facebook. My mom petitioned for me as an adult child. My I-130 was approved in 2020 but caught in the backlog. My daughter is going to be 21 in July. Would it be shorter time or shorter wait time? I'm here in the U.S.
What do you mean shorter wait time?
I didn't understand that part because my mom petitioned for me as an adult child. My I-130 was approved in 2020 but got caught in the backlog.
Okay, there is no backlog if your mom filed for you because you're over 21, I assume. So you have a priority date. Your waiting list is still 3-4 years. So whether you're here or another country, you're on a waiting list still.
I'm a survivor on Facebook. Does accepting rent and utilities assistance from federal agency affect one chance when they are ready to do the adjustment of status to green card?
Not anymore.
Olatunji on YouTube. Been married since October 2016. October 2021 makes it 5 years. I have my green card already. I got a DWI December 25th, 2021, and my interview is coming next month. Is this going to affect my naturalization?
Yes.
Tony, we are on YouTube. I got married to my U.S. citizen wife in 2020 while in removal proceedings and awaiting my master hearing. Got my I-130 approved in 2021. How do I get my work permit?
File the adjustment and then bring the with the adjustment, you'll get a work permit. Even though they're never going to approve the adjustment at USCIS, they're going to administratively close it, waiting on the judge, but at least you'll get your work permit in the meantime.
Mulunesh Mamu on YouTube. I applied for an EAD extension within the required period of time, and the 180 days ends next week. I haven't received any response or a new card. What do you recommend in this case?
Try a humanitarian expedite. Pray. I mean, everybody's waiting a long time. Those are your two options.
Nokuma Kaba on Facebook. My mom came to the U.S. October 2014 under a brother-sister petition visa. Green card is paid, but she left the U.S. January 2015 prior to receiving the physical ID. She never came back to the U.S. and stayed in her home country to take care of her grandson whose parents are working overseas. Can she still come back and reinstate that visa green card? When can she come back?
No, she can't. She abandoned her permanent residence. She came for 2 weeks, returned home, and never came back again. So that's abandonment of permanent residence.
Okay, Maimu Tamba on YouTube. My friend's I-130 was approved and was put under removal. She was married to a U.S. citizen, but finally the deportation was terminated and the case was reopened on I-145. What should she expect for the interview?
Why was it denied originally?
Just as my friend's I-130 was approved but was put under removal.
I don't know enough about the case to advise you what to expect at an interview.
Tony Dasoria on YouTube. I have a question about 245I. If I had an L1 visa in 1995 and remained in the country, do I qualify for the 245 relief?
No, because an L1 is a non-immigrant visa. To get the 245I, you needed an I-140 or a perm or an I-130 filed before April 2001.
Landry Wambia on Facebook. I'm a permanent resident and I applied for my wife. Can she apply for a tourist visa for the U.S. while waiting for the USCIS?
You can, but she'll be turned down if she tells the truth, which she should be.
Eunice Conde on YouTube. What happens after I-730 receipt notice? There's nothing that actually explains.
That's the following to join on the asylum. You just got to wait. They're taking about 2 years.
Okay, no way to push the process.
You can try to file a mandamus or a threat of mandamus.
And then last one, Kimberly Kim on YouTube. I sent in my hubby's death certificate with my name on it. What can I do? The certificate as his wife still dates. I haven't heard anything from USCIS on my green card.
I guess she filed an adjustment and her spouse died and she's converting it to a widow petition.
Oh, okay.
You did what you were supposed to do. If you need follow-up, go speak to a lawyer.
Okay, one more actually. Yeah. Tashana Richards on YouTube. When do you think the visa bulletin for the F1 family category will be moved to February 2015?
I don't know.
Yeah, sorry.
It's month by month. And the reason why I don't know is because they give out 22,000 green cards a year to people in that category. And I have no idea how many are given out in any given week, in any given month, how many people get approved, how many people get denied, how many family members are included on those cases. So we just got to wait month to month.
All right.
All right. So today we have a new squad versus crew match between squad member Marj Higs, a.k.a. Glamma, and new crew member Jennifer Coley. They will go head-to-head in a game of What the Folk? Where did some of our favorite folk stories originate from? Right now the score is Squad 8, Crew 8. Let's see how Glamma and Jennifer C. do as they match wits. The pressure is on. 8-8.
Oh!
This is going to be a tough one. Let's see.
What's up, Brad Squad? It's Jonathan Yo-Yo Elias. We are back again for another edition of Squaddy versus Crew. What's up, y'all?
Yeah, what's up?
We have Bradshaw Live top fan, Marj Higs, a.k.a. My Glamma. Woo! Facing off against team member Jennifer Coley. Woo! What's up, Jen?
Hey, what's up?
So the last game, you won.
I did.
Okay, Glamma, she says she's coming back for revenge.
Versus.
We're gonna test you on how well you know the origins of some of the world's most beloved fairy tales, folklores, and fiction. I want everybody in the comments to play. We're gonna bring you this new game of What the Folk. All right, so as I read the question, you both are gonna write down your answer. When I count to 3, you hold up your papers and show us, okay?
Okay.
Perfect. Good luck to you both. All right, first question. The story of Rapunzel is a traditional fairy tale of a young girl imprisoned in a tower by a cruel witch. Her only connection to the outside world is her long golden hair, which her captor, and later a handsome prince, used to climb into the tower. Now, what country did Rapunzel originate from? A, Denmark. B, Sweden. C, Germany. D, India. Are we ready? 1, 2, 3. Ding, ding, ding! Glamma is coming in strong! Germany! Woo!
Hey!
Rapunzel is a German fairy tale first published by the Brothers Grimm. Their 1812 collection of stories called Children's and Household Tales also included classics such as Little Red Riding Hood, Snow White, Hansel and Gretel, Sleeping Beauty, Cinderella, and Rumpelstiltskin. Number 2. Now, The Three Musketeers is an adventure novel about a young man named D'Artagnan who joins the Musketeers of the Guard. He befriends 3 famed musketeers, Athos, Porthos, Aramis, and becomes involved in affairs of state and at court. Now, what country did Three Musketeers originate from? A, Spain. B, Mexico. C, Italy. Or D, France. 1, 2, 3. Ding, ding, ding! Glamma got it! Whoa! 2 for 2! All right, The Three Musketeers takes place in France, written by French author Alexandre Dumas in 1844. Now, Dumas was of French and Afro-Caribbean descent, as his paternal grandmother had been an African slave in Haiti. Now, Dumas had worked for members of the French royal family, so when Napoleon took control of France, Dumas fled the country and lived for many years in Belgium, Russia, and then Italy. So good job. One of my favorite stories growing up, The Adventures of Pinocchio, is a beloved children's story about a mischievous wooden puppet who comes to life and goes on many adventures. Now, featuring a humble woodcarver, Geppetto, a wish-granting blue fairy, a cunning fox, and a talking cricket who gives advice. What country did Pinocchio originate from? Is it A, Brazil, B, Italy, C, Spain, D, Germany? All right, 1, 2, 3. Oh my gosh!
Questions are hard.
Italy!
Questions are hard. I do not know.
The Adventures of Pinocchio, the story of Marinette, was written by Carlo Collodi, an Italian author who first published the beloved character in 1881 in a children's magazine, Giornale per I Bambini. So Pinocchio marked a turning point in Italian's children's literature, adding more complex comedic and magical elements to the genre. Now, since then, Pinocchio has been translated into 260 languages, making it one of the most translated books in the world. All right, number 4, Jack and the Beanstalk. Now, this is a classic story of a poor boy named Jack who trades the family cow for a handful of magic beans which grow into an enormous beanstalk. What country did Jack and the Beanstalk originate from? A, England. B, Germany. C, Italy. D, Spain. Are we ready? 1, 2, 3. Ding, ding, ding! You both got it. It is from England.
I got one.
The earliest written version of Jack and the Beanstalk was published in England in the 1730s as the story of Jack Spriggins and the Enchanted Bean in a satirical collection of folk tales. The country of origin of the story is actually referenced in the Giants' classic catchphrase, "Fee, fi, fo, fum. I smell the blood of an Englishman." I didn't know that part. Number 5, 100 Years of Solitude is a 1967 novel that tells the multi-generational story of the Buendia family who settle in the fictitious town of Macondo. Now, the novel is considered one of the prime examples of magical realism in modern literature. Now, where did 100 Years of Solitude originate from? A, Cuba. B, Venezuela. C, Portugal. D, Colombia. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Ding, ding, ding! Crew got it. It is Colombia. It is Colombia. Yeah. 100 Years of Solitude is an award-winning novel by Colombian writer Gabriel Garcia Marquez. The 1967 story features stylistic influences from the Vanguardia movement. Now, this combines African, South American, and European cultural and artistic elements and helped to win Garcia Marquez the 1982 Nobel Prize for Literature. Number 6. Now, The Ugly Duckling tells the story of a duckling who is ridiculed by his brothers and sisters for being ugly and different. He eventually discovers he's not a duck at all, but actually a beautiful swan. Now, where did The Ugly Duckling originate from? A, Germany. B, Iceland. C, Norway. D, Denmark. 1, 2, 3. It is D, Denmark. The Ugly Duckling was written in Denmark by Hans Christian Andersen, the prolific author of Danish fairy tales, including The Snow Queen, The Emperor's New Clothes, and The Princess and the Pea. Number 7, Anansi the Spider is a folktale about a mischief maker and a wise, lovable creature who triumphs over larger foes. Anansi sets out on a long, difficult journey. When threatened by fish and falcon, he is saved from terrible fates by his son. Now, where is Anansi the Spider originated from? A, Ghana. B, Morocco. C, Tanzania. D, Somalia. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Ding, ding, ding! Glamma coming in. It is A, Ghana.
We tell so many Anansi stories in Jamaica. If I didn't get this, then I would be.
They would take your Jamaican card. Look, The tales of Anansi the Spider are believed to be originated by the Ashanti people in Ghana, West Africa, and Anansi's name comes from the word for spider in the Akan language. Now, in some beliefs, Anansi is responsible for creating the sun, the stars, and the moon, as well as teaching mankind the techniques of agriculture. Due to the African diaspora, Anansi stories would eventually become popular all over the Caribbean and southern U.S. So you were right. Okay. Number 8, the Odyssey. Now, this is an epic poem from over 2,000 years ago, which tells the tale of the heroic Odysseus and his 10-year journey home. Now, as he faces numerous obstacles such as mysterious monsters and fickle gods, where did the Odyssey originate from? A, China. B, Greece. C, Egypt. D, Japan. 1, 2, 3.
Ding, ding, ding.
Ding, ding, ding.
In your face.
Glamma again. Dang. It is Greece.
I don't know these.
The Odyssey is the second of 2 epic poems attributed to the ancient Greek poet Homer. Now, along with the Iliad, the poem is estimated to have been composed near the end of the 8th century BCE. The story takes place 10 years after the fall of Troy, and the character of Odysseus embodies many of the ideals the ancient Greeks aspired to, such as valor, loyalty, piety, and intelligence. Okay, this is the last one.
Oh, come on. Does it matter?
Okay, so the score is 6-2.
Who's sick?
Glamma is
We
sick.
don't need specifics on who got which point, okay?
Even though it doesn't matter, I'm going to give you guys 2 points for this last question. So at least, you can up it just a little bit more.
Oh, thank you, Jonathan.
Last question. The Legend of the White Snake is a folk tale about a snake spirit who transforms into a beautiful woman and falls in love with a young man who is unaware of her actual form, resulting in ensuing chaos. Now, where did the Legend of the White Snake originate from? A, China, B, Thailand, C, Japan, D, the Philippines. All right, ready? 1, 2, 3. Ding, 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 it is A. You got 2 points. Congratulations. The final score is 6, Glamma, 4. All right, now, the Legend of the White Snake is one of the 4 classic folk tales in Chinese literature. The most recent available written text is the Ming Dynasty, dating back around 1368 to 1644 AD. The story is powerful because it spans several major geographical locations important to both historical and present-day China, while reflecting the major philosophical influences that molded Chinese society. So big ups. Jennifer, you won the first one, and today, Glamma, you won today. I think we're gonna bring you guys back for the tiebreaker. Now, squad, make sure you guys let us know if you wanna play. DM us. It's super fun, squad versus crew. And thank you guys again, y'all. It was super, super fun.
Is she gonna shake my hand?
Shake it. There we go. Nice
Of
fair
course.
fight.
Pounded too. There we go.
There we go.
Best part was in your face.
In your face.
I like that, Glamma.
Glamma wasn't.
Yeah, she's not. She came, took her A game.
She came for it. She came for it.
All right, so the score is now squad 9, crew 8.
Congrats, squad. You guys are back in the lead.
Who's going to play the next round?
Oh, I don't know.
Reach out to us if you'd like to be a part of our squad versus crew segment. For participating, you will all receive a very special Brad Show Live mug for your drinking pleasure. And look at the beautiful Glamma was enjoying her mug already.
Love it.
So yes, so reach out in the comments or DM us, and we will reach out to Jet. We don't call her Glamma for nothing.
For nothing, okay.
Right? All right, let's go to speed round. Let's do it. Yesterday was tough. Yesterday was very, very tough.
Long here, so.
Oh, it's a long one?
Yeah.
So it's long ones.
Yeah.
All right, you got to read them fast, and I'm giving yes or no answers. Hopefully, yes or no.
Some aren't yes or no.
Oh boy.
You know how
they like send us up for
yeah,
a
you know how
blow-up.
they always do.
They're sending us up here.
Let's
I feel
see,
it.
let's
All right,
see.
let's see.
I have a 10-year green card through Vowel. Can I file for my mother?
No, you need a citizenship.
How can a British citizen come to the U.S. to work?
You need to speak to a lawyer first.
After you submit your medical I-485, how long does for USCIS approval?
At least 120 days.
How long will it take for a green card holder filing for children under 21 from Jamaica?
2 to 3 years.
If filing for my spouse, would it hurt me if I request a fee waiver?
Yes.
What is the I-824 form for?
That's to transfer your file.
Can you apply for a green card while extension status is pending?
Yes.
Can you apply for a procedural removal if you got voluntary deportation 15 years ago but didn't leave?
No, you got to reopen your case first.
Is a 17-year-old year age gap a problem for immigration?
Not if it's a real marriage.
Can I travel domestically with my passport after my visa expires?
Yes.
And they weren't all yes or no. Do we have to go back to none?
No, everything
there
was
we
answered
go.
good.
Yeah.
Everything was answered good.
Yeah.
Everything was answered. I was very nervous.
I can get them those along.
But I want you to know Carol and Titus, and you guys are going to win today.
Oh.
She gave us that good line.
Yes.
The Tiger gave us the good vibe.
She didn't say good luck. She said
we're
you're
going
gonna
to
win today.
Yeah, she gave us some good
we
vibes.
couldn't let you down.
Yeah. All right, comments of the day.
Yeah.
Comments of the day.
All right. Our first comment of the day comes from Burrell Harris saying, free immigration help. My goodness, I could not do it. So many questions. I salute you, Brad. You have patience of a saint.
Oh, thank you very much.
This is very true. You
Thank
do.
you. Thank you.
do. Okay. And our next comment of the day comes from Elizabeth Francis, saying, people are saying that the world has gone mad, but nothing is wrong with the world. It's we, the people, that are in the world.
Very deep.
That is deep, Elizabeth.
Yes, I like it.
I do too.
Yeah.
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. All right. Our next comment of the day. Jessica Leamy saying, my immigration background is that we're Jamaican living in America. Yes.
All
Because
right.
remember I asked about
Yes.
what everybody's
Yes.
immigration
Yes,
background
yes,
was.
yes.
Absolutely. All right. We have a couple more.
Okay. Oh, wow. A lot today.
Yeah, we do. Maxine Gowie saying, always learning something new from the immigration king, Brad Bernstein.
Lots of comments of the day today.
Yeah,
Very good.
we
Very
still
good.
got a couple
Yes.
more. We got a couple
Wow.
more. Two more for
Wow,
you.
a lot. These are like a lot of comments of the
Yeah,
day.
yeah.
Couldn't narrow them down, huh?
Nope.
All
They were
right.
too good.
All right.
D. Alicia Robinson saying, hello, Brad. I want to tell you that thanks to you, I got my green card just by listening to your advice
Oh, wow.
over the years.
Oh, thank you. Congratulations.
Wow, congrats.
Glad to hear
All
that.
right, and our last one.
Yes.
Very special one by our winner, Glamma, saying, it was a pleasure representing the squad. I hope you're proud of me. Oh, you guys should enter. It is really edifying as well as entertaining.
Oh, very
okay.
good. All right. Well,
Nice.
thank you very much for your nice
See?
compliments.
Yes.
We enjoy having Glamma. We enjoy having everybody. So if you do want to participate in Squad versus Crew, please drop us a DM or leave us something in the comments. We'll reach out to you. Have a great day, everybody. Yo-yo tomorrow.
In your face.
It's hump day.
I know. I wasn't trying to say it.
It's hump
I
day
was
tomorrow.
say Glamma's.
All right. The camels are getting ready for tomorrow.
Yeah,
We'll
we're
see you
feeding
then.
them. We're feeding them.
So, Sam, as part of the production, we have to say this disclaimer at the end of the show. Do you mind reading it for me?
Okay, but you know, Brad, I have to do everything around here.
Forget it. I'll do it. The proceeding was information only and not specific legal advice. Consult an attorney about your individual situation. Prior successful results do not guarantee a similar outcome in the future. To make an appointment with the Spar and Bernstein Law Firm, located at 225 Broadway in New York City, call 1-800-529-5465. That's 1-800-529-5465. Easy to remember, 1-800-LAWLINK. That's 1-800-LAWLINK. Once again, make a call to 1-800-529-5465. And of course, link up with the law offices of Spar and Bernstein, located at 225 Broadway on the 5th floor. If I were you out there, make the call, make the link, make the connection, make it Spar and Bernstein. 1-800-LAWLINK. That's 1-800-529-5465. And visit us now at our Connecticut office, 221 Main Street, Suite 501, Hartford, Connecticut. Visit us in Connecticut or in New York at 225 Broadway. That's 1-800-529-5465. 1-800-LAWLINK, 1-800-529-5465.